Donald Trump has shown an extraordinary ability to understand how our economy works, to create jobs for the American people. He's done it here in Nevada. He's done it across the country. He understands that our economy is facing threats from abroad. He's one of the few people who stood up and said, you know what, China has been cheating. They've taken jobs from Americans. They haven't played fair. We have to have a president who will stand up to cheaters. We believe in free trade and free enterprise, but we don't believe in allowing people to cheat.
That was 2012. Do we have any of that speech from 2016? Let's get some of that, but we'll do the poll question first here. The poll question is brought to you today by Simply Safe. Ever get that nagging feeling and when you've left the house? Did I lock the door? Did I put down the window? You don't have to worry about any of that anymore with Simply Safe Home Security. It's just $14.99 a month. And Simply Safe just released its new high-definition security camera. It sends your smartphone a video the second something happens at your house. Check out Simply Safe's new camera today at simplysafehowie.com. Steve, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Should Mitt Romney get a cabinet post in the Trump administration?
I don't think so, no.
88% say no.
978 says it's the old saying about keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But yeah, how much can you trust the guy? I mean, and again, it's not like saying he's not my cup of tea. You know, Mitt went out of his way. And I don't think Mitt ever campaigned with Kelly Ayotte in New Hampshire either, did he? Some people, texters from New Hampshire, have mentioned that. You know, I mean, Mitt has the place on Lake Winnipesaukee. He's actually pretty popular up north of the border. I mean, he might have been able to pull her through, but he was just holding his breath there. They're going to meet at one of Trump's golf courses in New Jersey over the weekend, and someone says they're non-drinking buddies. You know, because neither Mitt, being a Mormon, or Donald Trump drinks. But that's one thing they have in common. They don't have too much in common other than that.
Dishonesty is Donald Trump's hallmark. He claimed that he had spoken clearly and boldly against going into Iraq. Wrong. He spoke in favor of invading Iraq. He said he saw thousands of Muslims in New Jersey celebrating 9/11. Wrong. He saw no such thing. He imagined it. He's not of the temperament of the kind of stable, thoughtful person we need as leader.
Well, my understanding is there may not have been thousands of Muslims, but there were some Muslims who were celebrating in New Jersey. There were stories, and I believe even the Daily News, the failing New York Daily News had stories about that, and so did some of the local TV stations in New York City about these guys in Jersey City and places like that up on the roof yelling and screaming as the towers went down. Oh, man.
Now, Donald Trump tells us that he is very, very smart. I'm afraid that when it comes to foreign policy, he is very, very not smart.
I wonder if he's going to repeat that when he makes the pitch for himself as Secretary of State. You know, Donald, you need me more than I need you. I hope Donald Trump mentions to him, though, at their meeting, you know, Mitt, I just did something neither you nor your father could do. Your father claimed he was brainwashed and got run out of the 1968 Republican field, even though he was governor of Michigan. You didn't come close to winning in 2012. But I, Donald J. Trump, did what neither you nor your father could do. I not only won the presidency, I carried your home state of Michigan. You didn't even campaign in Michigan in 2012. You were so far behind. You lost it by 8 or 9 points. I flew in on election eve, or maybe even election day, into Grand Rapids, and I won the state of Michigan by 13,000 votes. You could never do that. Your father couldn't even get the nomination to see if he could win his home state of Michigan. And now you come to me with your tail tucked between your legs, begging for one of the best positions in the federal government, Secretary of State.
Here's Trump and Romney in 2012.
I spent my life in the private sector, not quite as successful as this guy, but successful nonetheless, sufficiently successful to understand what it takes to get America to be the most attractive place in the world.
And here's Romney in 2016.
But you say, wait. Is he a huge business success? Doesn't he know what he's talking about? No, he isn't. And no, he doesn't.
I was for Mitt Romney. I was for Donald Trump before I was against Donald Trump, and now I'm for him again. He's like a weather vane in a tornado, spinning around and around and around and around. I wonder if he's going to bring some binders full of women to the.
I don't need these anymore,
course.
Don. I thought you might be able to use these binders full of women for your administration.
Grace just sent me a note here. All these guys couldn't put their egos aside to support Trump, but now that he's been elected, they're willing to step forward and do the best thing they can for the United States of America. I'm willing to become your Secretary of State.
No, I think that actually, Howie, what I meant was they couldn't put their egos aside to support Trump, but Trump can put his ego aside now to pull in all these guys who he thinks are going to be the best for the country. It's not, I mean, he won. He doesn't need to hold grudges or be mad at people. He won. He made his point. I mean,
agree. I agree about not holding grudges. I mean, believe me, that's my theory of life. Don't hold a grudge. But I mean, these are really rotten things that Mitt Romney said about him.
Yeah, now that I hear the sound cuts, I kind of take back my note.
Yeah.
Because they are pretty bad.
All right, we'll be back and take your calls. Should Donald Trump let bygones be bygones and clear the decks for Willard Mitt Romney? I'm Howie Carr.